Weird Science. As soon as the movie opens up, we see our two main characters, Gary and Wyatt, played by Anthony Michael Hall and Ian Mitchell Smith. And right away, they're being made a fool of by the local bullies.
Yo! Check us out!
We then cut to the guys nerding out on some good old horror flicks, where Wyatt gives his opinion on Frankenstein.
It's very mild. It's timid. You know, the old stuff is more funny than scary.
No, come
I
on.
believe the word is camp. It's campy.
So while they're watching Frankenstein, Gary gets a crazy idea.
Making a girl. Actually making a girl.
And Wyatt tries to tell Gary how ludicrously ridiculous the whole thing is, but Gary knows they can pull it off.
Look, you know how you're always talking about how you can simulate all that stuff in the computer? You know? What's the difference? Why can't we simulate a girl?
The virtual personality of a woman that they create on Wyatt's computer isn't enough for Gary.
I can't believe this shit. I can't believe this. Did you get a free toaster with this too?
So he suggests they crank up the fucking voltage. After the boys create their dream girl's personality, it's time to bring their creation to life. We then cut to a Barbie doll attached to a bunch of wires, and we see Gary and Wyatt, and they're wearing bras on their heads?
By the way, why are we wearing bras on our heads?
Ceremonial.
Gary then hits the enter button, and all hell breaks loose. Shit is going haywire when Wyatt tries to unplug the computer, but that doesn't really help anything.
Oh, shit!
Gary then goes all Negan on the computer, but still nothing. Then, they notice that the doll is gone, and the bathroom door fucking explodes. Out of the pink smoke emerges an extremely sexy chick.
She's alive! Alive!
They actually made a real flesh and blood woman. Then we jump in the shower, where she congratulates them on their work.
You did an excellent job. Thank you.
So, you're telling me you had that fine-ass woman naked in the shower, and you didn't take your clothes off? The fuck? To celebrate her birth, I guess, the Cyberwoman takes the boys for a crazy, weird, wild fucking night out on the town. They're cruising down the road when they realize that they have yet to give the Cyberwoman a name.
You guys created me. You think of a name for me?
How about Lisa?
Then she's stoked about her new name, so she kicks this bitch into high gear. We cut to a bar where the boys just obviously don't fit in.
Lisa?
Only problem is, Gary and Wyatt here aren't old enough to drink, but Lisa has a few tricks up her sleeve.
You're 21. You're 21.
Damn, she's magic. Then we get this hilarious scene here.
Well, goddamn.
Gary's wasted at this point, so it's time to call it a night. We then cut to Bill Paxton.
You stewed, buttwad!
This is Chet, Wyatt's military dickhead older brother.
Hey, what are big brothers for?
He's such a dick. Gary's drunk ass almost spills the beans about Lisa, but he's so drunk that Chet just doesn't believe a word of it. It's the next morning and Wyatt is convinced that everything that happened last night, including Lisa, was a dream.
I don't know. I think it was a dream.
He quickly finds out just how real it really is.
Those are women's underpants! I mean, the next thing you know, you'll be wearing a bra on your head.
So the gang is at the local 80s mall, where Lisa's doing some lingerie shopping.
If you were a 15-year-old boy, would these turn you on?
That's when we see those bully fucks from earlier, and they're about to make it rain in this bitch. It's all good though, because revenge is sweet. Apparently there's a party going down at Wyatt's house tonight.
Party?
We cut to Gary's house, where we see Gary's folks. It's time to meet the parents.
You know, there's gonna be sex, drugs, rock and roll, chips, dips, chains, whips. You know, your basic high school orgy type of thing.
Gary's parents think that Lisa's a fucking nut and don't want their son going anywhere with this crazy woman.
All right, God damn it! I've heard enough!
Until she does a little gun persuasion. Yeah, who's gonna argue with that? We then find out that it was just a fucking squirt gun. And also that Gary's parents don't remember shit.
Did you think Gary was acting a little strangely this evening?
Gary. Who's Gary?
We then cut back to Wyatt's place. It's time for this motherfucking party to begin.
Hi.
Even the douchebag assholes show up. And Suzanne Snyder, you know Brenda from Return of the Living Dead Part 2? She's also in this flick. She's such a little sex pot.
She's a sex pot, is what she is.
Wyatt and Gary are having a powwow in the bathroom when the two hot babes want to come in to freshen up. So the guys give them some privacy. While in the shower, they muster up the courage to ask the chicks out, I guess. But then this happens. The two bully pricks pretend to apologize for all the shit they did to him. And now they have a proposition for him?
So what's the deal with Lisa? Can we borrow her?
So they want Lisa, but Gary and Wyatt don't want to give Lisa away to these fuckers. So they show them how to make their own. And this is where shit goes horribly wrong. People are getting trapped in TVs. Couches are getting launched out of the chimney. Even a woman playing the piano gets sucked up into the chimney and launched into the fucking sky. Only thing is they forgot to hook up a doll to the machine. And the wires that were hooked up to the doll before just so happened to land on top of a magazine and on a picture of a missile. A missile then comes through the floor and into the ceiling. Holy shit.
A missile! A missile! A missile in my house, Gary!
And then we see that Wyatt's grandparents came to join the party.
You ought to know better than to walk into somebody's house and start hitting people with your Rex Harrison hat.
Lisa informs Wyatt that his grandparents have stopped by, so she brings him downstairs to see him.
Are they alright?
They're fine.
That's when Lisa comes up with a clever plan to test the boy's inner strength. Out of nowhere, these crazy, smelly, greasy biker thug fucks come in to crash the party. Yeah, they might be fucked here, folks. So after the uninvited guests tear the place the fuck up, the unthinkable happens. Gary and Wyatt do something they never thought they could ever do. They fucking stand up for themselves.
Yeah, you can leave in peace.
Or you can stay and die.
They run the Mad Max villains out of town, save the girls, and become the fucking heroes. But wait a minute. I thought it was just a squirt gun.
Squirt gun, man.
Yeah, and they also get the girls. Fuck yeah, dudes. We cut to the next morning where we see Chet arriving home from duck hunting, and he sees the house is destroyed. He then goes up into his room, opens the door, and inside it's fucking snowing. Chet is pissed. He then finds Wyatt, and then Wyatt finally comes clean about Lisa. That's when Wyatt feels that Chet needs to have a talk with Lisa, so she can explain everything herself. Chet, again, doesn't believe shit, and thinks Lisa is crazy, and basically thinks they're all full of shit.
You got everybody synced to the same bullshit story.
Lisa then tells the guys to take the girls home, and then Lisa shows Chet that the only one here that's full of shit is him. Literally.
Quit screwing around! This isn't funny, you stupid bitch!
Yeah, she transforms this man into a giant, walking, talking pile of shit.
That is one big pile of shit.
After the dudes drop off their new girlfriends, They head inside to tell Lisa that they don't really need her anymore. And that's whenever they discover Chet in his current shitty state.
Hi, dudes.
They go to break the news to Lisa, but it's like she already knows.
I fell in love with the two girls. They fell in love with you. That's all I ever wanted for you.
And just like that, with the blow of a kiss and a puff of smoke, she's gone and everything goes back to normal. Even Chet's bitch ass turned back into his normal rotten self. Basically right as Wyatt's parents are returning home. Way to go, guys. Then we cut to gym class where we meet the sexy new gym coach.
Drop and give me 20.
And that's the end of the film, where we get the iconic sounds of Oingo Boingo with the title track, Weird Science.
Weird science.
So do I recommend this film? Is Chet a real piece of shit? You bet your weird ass he is. So that's a definite yes. The cast, the characters, the soundtrack. The movie's directed by John Hughes. You know, he's the legendary guy behind movies such as Home Alone, Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, you know, amongst many more. It's just all around a really fun little flick. Scott 86, the John Hughes classic, Weird Science. Check it out, folks. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Monster Mash.